hear me okay in the back? Great. Hey, we're going to start the program. I just wanted to first say thank you for being here. I can't believe this crowd. This is amazing for this event. We're so happy that you're here. I want to recognize a few people as part of this 150th year celebration and just give you a little background before we have Dr. Coker come up and speak a little bit. Marcia's going to come up and speak. But if you served on the board, the alumni board in the past, will you guys just raise your hands? Wow. Fantastic. Yeah. If you were an officer on the board, how about you guys raise your hands? Okay. Thank you for your service. We've got a lot of board members here too, from the big board as we call it, and also from the cabinet. So any of you guys first for the college leadership in the cabinet, anybody here that can raise their hands? Yeah. How about that? I see you, Susan. And the board of directors. Anybody here from the board of directors? Prior service or current? Yes. All right, so almost everybody raised their hand for some form of service here, right? Which is fantastic. What does that say about the college? That people are here. There's so many decades that are represented here tonight, and it shows how much we care about this place and what it means to us. And if you haven't had a chance to tell a story, we still have time for that. We have a little storytelling booth over here to tell a story about your time here. And so I just want to, on behalf of Maryville College and the Alumni Association, say welcome and thanks for being here. A couple of things just to talk about where we're headed with the board. So this 150-year celebration is going to go on throughout the whole year. So we've formed a committee. We've got a great group that are going to lead this charge. In the fall, it's going to be mostly about celebration and connection. So there's 12,000 living alumni all over, and we think that there's 11,000 that aren't engaged with the college. So we're on a mission to connect. We want to connect more of those alumni, get them back involved with the college in various ways. So that's an area that we're going to focus on in this fall. Is not only to celebrate this incredible milestone, but to work hard at reconnecting these people that are out there that maybe don't know what we have going on, the things that you are enjoying. Speaking of that, we have an incredible leadership group in the Alumni Association that's heading that up. Teresa Gray, I want you to wave. She's leading that task force of ours. She's responsible for helping organize this event and future events, so she's going to do an amazing job. She serves as the Vice President of the Alumni Association, and she's taken the responsibility of being head of this 150th year celebration. Just some historical context for you. The first MCA board meeting was at Anderson Hall, May 27th, 1875. Just to put that in perspective, you know, we think about 150, but that really drives it home, right? Anderson was still there. It was the chapel at the time, but in 1875 at 2 p.m. was the first record that we show, the very first Alumni Association. The purpose, according to Dr. Samuel Tyndall Wilson, was to rouse a fervent college patriotism that is both enthusiastic and enduring. And then later on in his kind of launch of that, he said, no wonder Maryville's old students insist with loving urgency that there is but one Maryville in the whole world. So you can see the kind of where it all began, in the very beginning, Dr. Wilson setting that standard for us. So like I said, we've got 12,000 living alumni. In our board today, the Alumni Association board has representatives from 7 decades on it, serving us. Yeah, that's a story in itself right there, right? Somebody needs to tell that story. Being inclusive, you know, for 7 different decades. So we're well represented in all areas. Love to hear the stories about people talking about when they were here, what they had, what they didn't have. It's pretty amazing to see where the college is today. Yeah, I'm sure you can tell some stories, right? We need to hear these. Especially today's students over there need to hear what we went through, right? I was just telling Chrissy that I think in 84 and 85, when Neil and I were here, we got down to about 400 students. I mean, we knew everybody. I mean, they lived next door. We didn't have 5 dorms. We had 2. And we all crammed in there. So it was a different world. But anyway, thank you for being here. I'm going to come back and speak a little bit more at the end and tell you about an exciting initiative we have going on. But before we go any further, I'm going to ask Dr. Coker to come up and say a few words. Let's hear it. Dr. Coker.
All right, thank you so much, Pat. Grateful for your leadership and all the leadership that of those hands we saw raised here in the room. It's so great to have all of you here. All of you know I often talk about us being an institution of and for the region. And as much as I worry about saying that too much, I met with Nicholas this afternoon and he said, no, you gotta keep saying it more. And so if you're sick of me saying it, Nicholas is back in the corner there. Nicholas is our staff council chair and a member of our President's Cabinet group. But seriously, I just left, before I came over here, I left an event that is an expo, an outdoor enthusiast expo that's happening on campus this weekend, where we've really got hundreds of outdoor enthusiasts coming from all over the state, gathering on our campus to really celebrate the great outdoors, to learn more, to talk about working more together, and it's happening on our campus. The Tennessee Director of Wildlife and Natural Resources was there on site. The Tennessee President of the Nature Conservancy was there. It's a big deal, and we're excited that they're on the campus. And then I get to come here to the Downtown Center. Who's here for the first time in this facility? Quite a number of folks. We're really proud of it. Obviously, we use 2 words when talking about this center, really: community and connection. It's where we come to be part of the community and really to connect with this community. And if you don't know, this is there's so much that happens in here: events, classes, beer brewing. As you noticed, it's chemistry, right, Nathan? It's chemistry. All of that's wonderful, but what's equally wonderful is what it's inspired. The city of Maryville has made a multi-million-dollar investment in the corridor between the college and here in downtown. It's inspired Vienna, improving everything over there, their front patio, all of that, and inspired a new Vienna coffee location at the Clayton Center as well. So we're grateful for what this has inspired, in addition to everything that takes place here. We're also on the end of a good week as far as news goes. Many of you pointed that out to me. You saw the articles about the Alexander Institute for Environmental Education and the Sciences. We kept it quiet as long as we could, but when public funding, fortunately, is involved, you can't keep it quiet for much longer. And so we're really excited about that news. There's still a lot of money to raise, right, Susie? A whole lot of money to raise. So don't think we've raised all the money. It's going to be close to $80 million facility, thanks to the cost of materials, labor, and potential tariffs that everyone's pretty afraid of right now. We hope to be breaking ground sometime in the next year or so. A little so there potentially, but we've got a great fundraising bench of folks that are ready and willing to help get us started. The state provided $12 million in funding, which is very rare, for a private institution. So we're excited about that and ready to move forward on things. Okay, I'm supposed to talk tonight though about, I'm gonna give you some examples of the work of the MCAA, our Alumni Association, over the years. I'll give you just a few examples that I was provided tonight. Professor Horace Orr, in 1912, the secretary of the Alumni Association under Wilson's presidency, President Wilson, spearheaded the campaign to build the Alumni Gymnasium. Professor Edwin Hunter supervised construction. In 1914, the Alumni Gym was dedicated Thanksgiving of 1923, and as all of you know, it served for more than a century as a home for athletic and social events, and when the college chapel burned in 1947, it was adapted for daily chapel services. The presidential portrait of President Wilson was commissioned by and presented to the college by the Alumni Association on June 1st, 1927. In 1961, the association established the Alumni Citation to recognize outstanding alumni, then added the Distinguished Service Award in 1991 and the Ken Takahashi Award for Young Alumni in 1999. In 1974, the association established the Outstanding Senior Award. It is still awarded annually, and the award has now been fully endowed thanks to Carl McDonald, class of '63, and his late wife, Jean. First held in 1997, KT Days was established by the class of 1960 as an opportunity for alumni to return to campus and accomplish various beautification projects. The association, as you all know, has continued to support, promote, and expand this vital work, ultimately expanding it into an international initiative known now as KT Global. We're in the process of completing the renovation of the archive space in Fairweather. That effort was largely championed and funded by the Alumni Association. This space, once renovated, will be open for viewing at homecoming in October. So great news. And I just want to say, on a personal basis, how much I value all of you, your dedication to the college. When this job gets really hard, talking to all of you makes it much better. Let me say that, because I hear from you about the way this institution has affected your lives, made a difference in your lives, and really transformed you when you look back in various ways. So thank you. You really are my inspiration. That sounds really cheesy, I know. But you are. You are, and our students really do keep me going again, especially on those days that we all have when the job's a little bit harder. And having my wonderful wife and Basset Hound and kids at home does not hurt either. So anyway, currently there are 20 alumni serving on the college's board of directors, which ends up, got 29 total members. That means 29 total on the alumni, on the board of directors, yeah. So we got 20 of 29. That's really good. Okay, that's why Susie stands right there. But this volunteerism is the ultimate demonstration of alumni service. And speaking of alumni, I'm delighted to welcome my relatively new boss, former president of the Alumni Association and new chair of the board of directors, Marcia Kilby, class of '89, to the podium for just a few words. Marcia.
Thank you. Can you see me over there? The hazard of being short, right? So as President Coker mentioned, prior to being on the board, I was on the alumni board. I served for 12 years on the alumni board, and the last 3 of those years being as president. My goal as president was not that much different than what Pat has just said. My goal was to focus on the mission of alumni engagement. I wanted the alumni board to have actual touch points and impact with alumni. So what we did as a result is I worked with the alumni board, many of you in this room in fact, to revise the bylaws and create 3 main task forces. Those are 1, community and belonging. How could we reach out to alums and make them feel like they belong to the school? 2, a senior call task force. This task force, during the last 2 weeks of school, would reach out to every graduating senior, congratulate them on their feat, and welcome them into the fold as alumni. And then 3rd, KT Global, spearheaded by Jennifer Triplett, standing right outside the door there. This idea was an expansion of KT Days, since many alumni liked the idea of service, but they couldn't get back to the campus for a week in the summer. We wanted to get out in the world where our alumni are present and contribute to these communities. So all three of these task forces had a very successful launch, and they continue to this day. Here's something you might not know. Did you know that KT Global is now one of the top alumni engagement efforts at the college? Last year was the 5-year anniversary of the task force, and I'm proud to say that we had projects in all 5 regions of the United States, 12 U.S. states, 10 countries, 2,000 hours of service, and 370 volunteers. It will be exciting to see what we're doing. Under the leadership of Kyle Duke and now Pat Moyer, the Alumni Association has continued to establish new task forces and alumni chapters, and to have alumni events throughout the country. We are engaging and we are doing good on the largest possible scale. Whether meeting at a winery or going to a baseball game or celebrating an exciting milestone with one of our own. To be clear, our Alumni Association is growing every year. As I now start my term as board chair, I approach the role as a proud Maryville College graduate. Proud of the journey of Maryville College over the last 200 years, the boldness and direction we have taken to facilitate a community of learning, and proud of the support of a talented and passionate alumni association. I'm looking forward to working with Pat as we go into the future. So happy 150 to the Maryville College Alumni Association. Let's keep it going.
I'll tell you, it was when I started serving on the board, under Marcia, I knew after the very first meeting, okay, she's going to stir some stuff up. This is in a good way, and I feel like I have huge shoes to fill, even though hers are probably size 4. She really made huge changes, and really what I loved about the service when she was leading us was that it was about getting stuff done. We weren't just meeting to kind of hang out. We were trying to make a difference. And so it was fun working with her, because that's what I want to do here. I want this association to be about improving the experience of the students that are there, right? I mean, that's what we would have loved to have. And one of the great initiatives that we're going to launch under this new board is something we call that's going to be called the Alumni Future Fund. Do we have a slide for that? Yeah. So I'm going to share a little bit about what this is and how you can get involved. It's really a unique opportunity for us to assist students in a variety of ways and to have a say-so in where this money is awarded. So the idea is for us to raise money each year. Let me get this right here. What we're going to do, how many of you guys ever went on a school trip while you were here, wanted to, and couldn't? Yeah, several? Well, a lot of people get invited to go to this conference or that conference as a student, and they just can't pay their way there. This is kind of what this fund would be. We would have an opportunity for them to apply and to say, I need $400 to pay for 2 nights of the hotel room, and the decisions would be made by the Alumni Association. We haven't been in that situation before, and you guys can actually play a role in this and see who the applicants are, who we feel like is most worthy of this, and it might be 2 or 3 people. But the goal for us is to raise $5,000 each year and to award $5,000 each year. So literally to drain the account. If we're able to raise more than that, then we'll keep it aside and hopefully at some point be in a position to have an endowment that funds this. But I think we can, I think $5,000 for a group like this, and I'm going to, at our board meeting for the Alumni Association tomorrow, is to talk some more about it. But I think that that's a real doable thing that we could possibly raise even tonight. So if you are able to give $150 or more, then you'll be able to be involved in choosing who the worthy recipients are of this money each year. And we're gonna, we wanna do good on the largest possible scale. So if that means we can assist 3 or 4 different students, then we will. Am I rambling about this? I'm going off the mark here. I'm lost in my notes, so. I skipped the beer announcement. I'll come back to that, okay? So, what you're going to see when you leave here today is you're going to see a banner out there that has a little bit more about the Future Fund, and I have a QR code. You can scan that QR code and see the opportunities to give. My challenge is for you guys to help us fund the first $5,000 tonight. So if you're willing, you'll see that banner out there. You scan it. We'd love to have as many $150 donors as possible, and that money will all go back to the students. If somebody's going to earn it with a worthy cause, and you'll be able to play a role in that. And we want to build that up to the point where it's here forever. I would love to be in a position to hear a student come back and say, I chose this career because I was able to go to this conference and meet so many people, and this changed my life. And maybe it only cost us $150 a piece to have that kind of an impact. That's what I want to be, when this is all said and done during this term, I want to be able to have established that fund, that can live on forever. All right, I'm going to go to the beer slide, so we're going to skip back. I think it's important for you guys to see. Want to go back to that? Okay. All right, so a couple of really cool things here about our brewing program here, and some of the beer that you might have just tasted. We have one that's called the Crowned with Cedars. It's a West Coast IPA, okay? And this was created by Caitlin Coster, who's a 25 grad, and pays homage to the MC alma mater and her passion for nature and the beauty of the East Tennessee region. She earned her degree in biology and is pursuing a career in wildlife biology. So this is Crowned with Cedars. It's going to be served at homecoming. We'll have it there, and it'll be, according to Dr. Wu, it'll be available inside outside, okay. Outside the stadium there. The next is My Heart's in the Highlands. It's a Scottish ale with a little touch of vanilla. All right? It's created by Izzy Wright, who's also a 25 grad, in recognition of the college's location in the foothills of the Great Smokies. Its flavor profile is a celebration of annual Robert Burns Dinner held for the student body. Izzy earned her degree in biochemistry and is pursuing a career in environmental toxicology. So those are the two that'll be there as part of the celebration at homecoming. Lots of other things going on at homecoming this year. Please don't miss. We're gonna have further initiatives regarding the Alumni Association. We have another on October 10th on College Hill. We'll have another reception, and we're celebrating the commitment to service to the college, the current students, our communities throughout the spring with on and off campus activities like KT Week and KT Global. How many people have been involved with KT Global or KT? Yeah, good. It's a blast. In fact, we decided in our spring board meeting that we're gonna wear jeans and boots, and we're gonna go work on the campus, and then we'll come back afterwards and we'll have a brief business meeting. But we're gonna commit our spring meeting to doing something, on campus. So I don't know. Is there anything else, Susie, that I need to wrap up with?
You're good.
I am? Okay. Let's see what time it is.
Yeah, there's still time to
Yeah.
socialize.
We're 7:30. Again, thanks so much for being here. Do me a favor before you leave. Let's see if we can't fund this thing for the first year. I would love for you guys to have a role in who gets awarded these I don't call them scholarships, but assistance in whatever endeavor it might be. There might be somebody that needs transportation here, or there might be somebody that needs a plane flight to do this special activity that they couldn't do otherwise. And so we're going to take that on as an alumni association, where they can come to us, and we can help them, and not have to go through Susie for everything. Makes sense? Okay, you're welcome to continue to binge out there. There's still food out there. There's still drink. Enjoy yourselves. Continue to connect. And tell me when the first home football game is. Next Saturday. Okay. Let's get back to the Hill next Saturday, okay?
And the first conference game is in Sewanee in 2 weeks.
All right, Melinda Shannon, go.
Yeah, we gotta go. They're talking trash.
We had more, last time we went to Swanee, we had more fans there than they did. We blew them up pretty good. That was 2 or 3 years ago. But again, thanks for being here. Please enjoy the rest of the evening and